Objectively, there are 24 hours in the day, but once we factor in personal responsibilities, work, sleep, meals, and everything else we need to do, it becomes clear that not everyone has the exact same amount of time in a day. That's why planning with your own schedule is so important, especially if you know your schedule is a bit more unpredictable than the average one might be. Hi, my name is Lao-Ann and I am a productivity enthusiast. I'm also someone who struggled with procrastination, unproductivity, and overwhelm because I was using other people's lifestyle and schedules to plan my own life, which is not something you want to do. I eventually figured out a system to plan my life and plan my schedule in a way that actually fit in with who I am and what I actually do. And I'm here to help everyone else do the exact same thing. Now, before we start, I just want to tell you a little secret. You cannot, I repeat, cannot accomplish absolutely everything on your to-do list, be 100% productive every single day. That's not possible. You are not a robot, you are not a machine, you are a person. And that means that some days are going to be more productive than others. It means that some days aren't going to be as productive as you like, and that is okay. What we want is to try our best and make sure that we are accomplishing most of the things that are actually important to us on those productive days, and to minimize the unproductive days as much as possible. Yes, they're gonna come up because you're not feeling well or you have a lot on your plate, but that's very different from saying you don't have time when you're busy maybe scrolling on your phone or filling up your time with busy productive tasks that don't actually matter to you. We're going to make sure that you can actually do the important things, okay? And these are important things to you, not what everyone else thinks, what are important to you. Got that? Okay, let's get started. Now, a lot of people suggest planning your day the night before, and for good reason. Planning your day the night before can help you figure out what you're going to do before the day even starts and help you feel like you're actually on top of your tasks. But if your life is a bit unpredictable or your schedule is a bit everywhere, doing a minute by minute plan may not be the best idea. Here's what you're going to do instead. The night before, or maybe as soon as you're done watching this video, you are going to write down everything that's on your mind. Okay, now you can do this whatever way you like. You could do it by journaling or just making a mind map, but I suggest putting them in categories. So you could have things I want to do tomorrow or today, depending on when you're doing it. Things I've been procrastinating on, things I would like to do this week, and just random things that are on my mind. This helps free up so much space that you can then put into actually doing stuff. If your mind is filled with random thoughts of, oh, I should clean this, or oh, I need to throw this out, you're not going to actually have the mental capacity to do the things that you actually need to do. If you want me to do a little more on freeing up mental space, comment down below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Once you've made those categories, you're then going to do the 1-3-5 method. One thing that you will do for yourself, okay? This is very important. That's why you start with it. One thing you're going to do for yourself. It doesn't have to be a stereotypically productive thing, but it could just be something that you know is going to bring you joy. But if you want it to be productive, it could be something that you know if you do it will free up so much mental and emotional load. So one thing you do for yourself. Then you're going to do your 3 priorities. Write down your 3 priorities. This helps you identify those important tasks that you know are going to get buried under absolutely everything else if you don't actually write it out. It'll also give you a focus and a direction to go in for the day. Then you're going to put in your 5 small tasks that you could do, and you don't actually have to do them, but doing them would be nice. And you don't have to do absolutely everything. It's fine if you don't do everything, but if you can do just 1 or 2, you'll feel accomplished. So you've written down everything that's on your mind. You've done your 1-3-5. Did I do that right? 1-3-5. Then you're going to go on to the next step. which can be done the day of, like the day you want to start your productivity. And if you're doing everything at once, just keep going, okay? So on the day of, you're going to divide your day into 3-hour sections. Now, the best thing about this is it's so flexible depending on when you wake up. Let's say you wake up by 6 a.m. So you're going to have section 1, 6 to 9, section 2, 9 to 12, then 12 to 3, 3 to 6, and so on and so forth until it's time for bed. If you wake up at 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 2, so on. And if you're doing this in the middle of the day, let's say it's 1 p.m., you could say, okay, 1 till 4, and then keep going like that. It's super flexible, and you don't have to start with an absolutely perfect time. You can just do it whenever. So the number of sections, of course, would depend on when you start, but you can still get stuff accomplished then. It also helps you think about time in a completely different way. You could say, oh no, it's 1 p.m. I don't have time for a lot of stuff. But when you think about it, from 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. is 3 hours. Before you go to bed at maybe 10 or 12, hopefully not 12, but maybe 10 or 11, you're going to have at least three-hour sections to work with, and that can actually get a lot done if you really think about it. So it's a very cool and easy way you can think about time and can help you accomplish stuff in your day, even though it feels like your day is half spent. Next, you're going to think about your commitments, the stuff that you absolutely have to do no matter what. So this could be your work, it could be, going to bed and waking up, it could be your morning and your night routine, or some engagements that you already have planned. So you're going to write those in first, and then you're going to move on to the next step, which is to add your 1, 3, 5 stuff. First, your one thing for you, and it's important you add this first, because if you don't make time for it, you're never going to have the time to do it. So your one thing for you, then your 3 priorities for the day, and if you have time, and only if you have time, you'll add in your 5, or maybe not even all 5 of them. You could add in just 1 or 2 or 3, or how many ever you feel you have time for in that day, of those small tasks that could help you. Remember, the aim isn't to fill in absolutely every portion of your day, but just to make sure that we are making time and we're being conscious of the time that we use on the things that are actually important to us. And ta-da! You have planned your day. Now, as always, I'm going to give you a few extra tips that you can use to, just make this a little better for you. Tip number 1, you are going to give yourself reminders at the beginning of each sector. So at the beginning of every 3-hour mark, you're going to give yourself a reminder. It could be a reminder on Google Calendar or an alarm on your phone, whatever it is, just to make you conscious that, hey, a new sector is starting, and look back at the things that you've already planned so that you can actually do them. Tip 2, you are going to give yourself buffers. Now, tasks don't always go exactly as we planned. Things could take longer than we thought they would, or we could have some new thing quickly come in that needs to be done almost immediately. So this could take up a lot of your time, and if you don't give yourself buffers and you pack in absolutely everything one after the other, you may find that you get behind on your tasks rather quickly, and that can be so demotivating. So make sure you give yourself buffers after each task, so maybe 15 to 30 minutes, or if you're not really planning, just make sure if you're not really like scheduling it in and you're just writing down tasks in different sectors, you're going to give yourself maybe 1 full sector free, so that if anything surprising comes in, you can just add it in there. And that leads to the 3rd tip, which is your schedule is flexible. The whole point of planning like this is that your schedule is supposed to be flexible and adaptable. So if something isn't going the way you planned, or you feel like you won't have enough time for a task in this sector, you can move it down to a completely different sector. It's fine. This is your schedule, your life, and you just want to make sure you're actually making it work for you without overwhelming yourself. And the final tip, tip 4, is to make a things I accomplished list. Now, when you're doing planning and productivity, one thing I've learned is a lot of stuff comes up that we don't really notice because we don't write them down. I could have my to-do list all listed out, but then something surprising will come in and I'll do it, but I won't remember I did it, or I won't give myself credit for it because I didn't write it down. So having a things I accomplished list can really open your eyes to the amount of stuff you get done in a day. Maybe you washed the dishes even though you didn't plan to. Maybe you cleaned your house. Maybe you felt motivated and decided to write a few words. Whatever it is, just make sure that as you're going about your day, you add in items to your things I accomplished list that may not strictly be on your daily to-do list. And that is all I have for you today. So I hope you've been able to get something from this. I hope you now know how you can plan your day in an easier and maybe more fun way. And I hope that you found this useful. So if you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment what your favorite tip was or what you'll be trying out next time. And I hope to see you again. And remember, I love you, Jesus loves you, God loves you, and you are amazing. Have a good day.